Hello, my name is Tyler Watts. I want to teach you how to understand computer programming and use it in your classroom. I've been teaching at the middle school level for 5 years in KCK and KCMO. Your students need to learn how to program in order to become successful citizens in the impending world of robotics, 3D printing, and app marketplaces and other digital media. I want to show you how to code in a fun way using MIT's Scratch. I've chosen the book Super Scratch Adventure because it teaches you how to make interesting games as a textbook comic book hybrid. Scratch is suitable from ages 1st grade all the way up to college because it's as simple or as complex as you desire it to make it. Today's students know how to use technology, but they do not know how to create with it. It is our responsibility as educators, parents, and mentors to educate our young people how to become more than digital consumers, but producers. Learning computer code will grant our young people a greater understanding of their ever-increasingly technological environment. As one of my favorite authors, Douglas Rushkoff, says, you can either learn to program or be programmed. Our class will be a 5-day, 1-credit-hour course meeting from 9 a.m. to noon the week of July 15th to July 19th. The first 3 days will be with your adult peers learning Scratch in a gamified course. A gamified course creates a unique grading system where everyone starts at 0 and works up to an A. It is inspired by video games where you start at level 1 and work your way up. The beauty of this is that you can never fail. You can never lose credit. You can only gain. Thus it leads to more risk-taking and more creativity. Also, my course will not be taught through lectures, not through PowerPoints. I will teach you through videos and through instructions on the social networking site for education, Edmodo. I will only be there as the guide on the side and not the sage on the stage. I'm more of a coach to help you one-on-one as opposed to talking to the whole class. On Thursday and Friday, local area middle school students will come in and each one of you will be partnered up with a middle school student. On Thursday and Friday, you will teach the students the exact same lessons that you learned from Super Scratch Adventure on Monday through Wednesday. My reasoning behind this is that I want each of you to not only learn the skill, but learn how to deliver the skill that we're practicing. Because I know as an educator that it's one thing to learn something to use in your classroom, and another thing to actually implement it. So I want each of you to implement it so you can take it back to your home schools and use it in your classrooms. So please join me in my mission to grow digitally literate students.
Let me give you a short introduction to Scratch. It was designed by MIT, and the purpose of it is to teach coding in a simple way, because the big problem with coding is that if you make a simple spelling error or a punctuation error, the whole code will be broken. So MIT designed Scratch kind of like Legos almost. These blocks will snap together. You see you have different categories of blocks. Here's your area, you have your background, and you have your sprites. Sprites are characters in your game. You could bring other sprites in. There's all kinds of different sprites that are preloaded, or you could even make your own. So I'm just going to move these out of the way. I'm going to do a short example of Scratch just to give you an idea of how it works. So what you do is I'm going to have him say hello to you, since he's a well-mannered cat. So I'm going to pull out when clicked. That's kind of like the play button. And I'm going to say forever. He is going to say. That's going to make him talk. And I already have a little pre-generated message. So I'm going to have him talk to you. So I click on the flag and he says, program be programmed, become a code wizard, smiley face. There's lots of things we could do. We could even have him change costumes. You can see we could load different costumes for him to have so we can make it look like he's walking. So same concept, you say when flag clicked, forever. I'm going to put a wait because otherwise it'll happen so fast that the human eye won't be able to see it. So I'm going to say next costume. So you see right there, he's going really fast. Looks like he has lots of coffee. So let's slow him down. So we could do 1 second. You see here he goes again. A little slow this time. Let's speed up to a more natural pace. We could change that as such. So now he could talk. And he could do a little dance right there because he's so excited for you to learn coding. So that's a short little introduction to Scratch.
Here's the book Super Scratch Adventure that we'll be working out of. I'm going to have you get a copy of the book because I think this is a wonderful book because it's a textbook and it's a comic book. Each chapter is a whole story of the Scratch Cat coming to life and helping the main character fight against this evil dark wizard. There's a little comic book that introduces the topic to you. And there's a very large diversity of different types of games that you make. You see pictured here, there's racing games, there's a maze game, there's a fighting game, there's a Pong game, there's all types of different types of games. So really any kid will be interested in it because there's such a variety of games. And the games, it's a gradual release model in that the games are very simple at first and teach you very simple things about Scratch. And as you progress through them, you get new skills that are more complicated while it reinforces the old skills that you already mastered. So I think it's a beautiful way to learn Scratch, plus it's fun, it's very memorable. The characters, I taught this with my students and they just love it. It's the most successful lesson that I teach just because it's such a beautiful progression from easy to complicated, and it's just fun in general. And since they play the game, they know what they're going to make, so they have a goal in mind. So that's why I chose this book, and I want you to use it. And I love this quote: as you read this book, let your imagination run wild. What will you create with Scratch? And that comes